and this is our review of Married at First Sight, the decision day. Yikes! Okay, so I want to put it in order how I wanted it to go last night. Paige and Chris first, because I wanted to get them out of the way.
I wanted to just get them.
Okay, so many things. Paige is it's hard for me to articulate what I'm feeling about her because she made me so angry last night. Like watching her smile.
Oh, when she smiled. Oh my god.
Like, girl, what?
Hey,
what is happening? Like he gaslights you and you just light up like a Christmas tree. It's
got some good stuff.
It's not that deep. Come on. I don't care how good it is. You don't make yourself look like a complete idiot on national TV like that.
I'm talking about for him to continually like.
Oh, you said she must.
Got some good stuff.
She must. He keeps coming back for it.
He keeps.
But I want to say that I don't think there was ever a baby. I think that was just a cop out for him to be able to.
He posted it.
What?
The date of when it happened, the paperwork.
Paperwork of what?
It was like he put a post on IG sometime.
You follow him?
A couple weeks ago.
He has an Instagram? Because the last time I checked, Chris deleted all his Instagram, all his social media. What is it?
He redid it and he went and posted. He posted this.
What is
because her name was Mercedes, right?
Yeah.
And he posted this to make an announcement that she had an abortion. I mean, no.
Oh.
Sorry. My bad. That she had a miscarriage. So he posted this on March 7th. So that was like a couple months ago. He said that she had a miscarriage. So I don't know, but he posted that a couple of months ago to say that she had said miscarriage.
I don't know. I'm still not a believer. I really feel like things can be doctored. He's a psychopath. He has mental health issues. There was not one tear coming out that man's eyes in that car. Not one. There was not a tear. Tell me I'm lying. All that shaking and whatever, and then his eyes are completely white. See?
Because that's when he gets emotional. He starts saying, yo.
Oh, it's so annoying. When someone cries, there's red around the white. Like you can see that there was tears. There was nothing. His eyes were completely normal. He was just being theatrical like he likes to do. Getting up and storming out. The fake crying. The telling her all the things that he knows will get her panties off.
And they look like they was ready to come off on that.
On that couch in front of that expert.
Look, on site.
She was red sea.
She couldn't even control her smile. Like, she was just like,
it was embarrassing. The experts were even like, Dr. Viviana was pissed.
Yeah.
Okay, she was like, no, stop this. Like, what are you doing?
And they said it lasted 6 hours.
What
like,
are we doing?
They were really, and you know he buttered her up. And honestly, even when, okay, because it was just kind of like, all right, so they're going to make a decision. And that one producer must really like, Paige must really like her, because I feel like she was chit-chatting with, that's her go-to producer to talk to. Even when she was like, no. And the thing that kind of is embarrassing for Paige is because I do think that she must be smart and all of that, because what she's accomplished thus far in her life for her to be that young.
There's a lot of people that are book smart and dumb and
yeah. So I'm gonna give her that to say that she's smart, just
book
smart. But when she talks, bruh, it's like, no, what's happening, Paige? It doesn't make any. It's like you're saying a whole bunch of nothing to say nothing. And when she made her decision and they walked off together, I was like,
they went home together. I don't care what she said.
I was like, he clearly they had a talk. That's probably why it lasted 6 hours.
Mm-hmm.
They clearly talked about it, and he clearly told her. I'm sure he told her, you can say no, and we'll just work on it because you were the best thing I didn't appreciate, and da 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 da. Because I feel like if he was really bad about it and she had said no, he would have had a whole tantrum.
Yeah.
And he didn't have a tantrum.
He didn't.
He was like, okay, he walked out and he waited for, you know what I'm saying? So it was like, no, he told her she could say that. And that's the problem that I have with that. It's like, oh my gosh, Paige. Like, what is
I was
going
screaming
on?
at the TV, like, Paige, you are pathetic. You're pathetic. You're embarrassing. That's what I was yelling at.
I'm not going to say she's pathetic.
She's pathetic, period.
I'm just going to say that, you know.
She always tried to be nice.
It was very cringy to watch.
It's very cringy. It's very embarrassing. Very, very low bottom of the barrel self-esteem.
Ooh.
She's just a lot of things. The wig, the outfit, everything. Like, I'm just over her and her greasy ass face.
Why Dr. Cal? Is that his name?
Pastor Cal?
Why Pastor Cal trying to be like, remind him, but you remember you're not attracted to her, right?
Right. Like, I mean, they was.
But you're not attracted to her. She still look the same. She still the same.
They was doing everything in their power to try and stop this.
Like, come on.
Like, come on, y'all. Like, be real. Speak your mind. But he definitely was, you know, just laying it on super thick for Paige last night. And, you know, he's just so disrespectful. Like, even with the experts, and he's like, I don't give a flying, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, Chris. Like, as if you have any authority. He don't care about you, girl.
Listen.
Like,
Chris is one of those dudes. And this is the only thing that I can kind of give to him in terms of he is just how he is. It's not like it was just it's a Paige, and I'm just going to talk to Paige this way.
Yeah,
like,
he does talk to everybody that way.
It's across the board for him. To this day, he said he's not gonna be friends with his one pastor friend that went
that's
with
what
her.
he said.
Yeah, he's like, even on his Instagram, he's like,
not friends with him.
No, it's the sky still blue type shit. So that's the only thing that I'm gonna give to him is that it's not like he's somebody that you be like, oh, you a whole. I mean, you could say he's a punk, but
he is. He's a punk bitch, cry ass baby.
Oh
bitch.
wow, you could be like, it's not one of those things you can say, oh, you're a punk because this is how you handle her, but with everybody else, no, he is like that across the board.
I'm just not a fan. I'm very strongly disgusted with both Paige and Chris. Paige for just not having a backbone and being like a normal person, and Chris because he's a weirdo who always cries all the time, and I don't respect men like that. So yeah, I don't like that. So I know that they're probably still together, you know, on the low, entangled, not together because he ain't ever gonna really claim her for real. She's gonna be his booty call for as long as she allows him to be her booty call, and then that's it. So yeah, moving on to Eric and Virginia. My. He did it so many times. I was like, oh my goodness, he is killing me. I'll let you go.
So I was only really worried about Virginia if she was gonna say no, and I think that's why I don't know who said. Well, obviously he said yes first because if he had said no, then it wouldn't have been no need for her to say anything. But I was just kind of like, I feel like she was going to stay because she had stayed thus far, and obviously there's something is there. Whatever the good is that's there, it's really good to them because all that other stuff seems like it outweighs it, but they just whatever.
But like we were saying, there's a lot that just didn't make sense with these two, and I feel like it had to do with editing. I feel like they did have a good relationship. I feel like yes, they have their crazy, quirky things about them, but it wasn't bad enough to move on. But I also didn't like how they allowed Eric to go first. I didn't like how he had the option to get on his one knee. It kind of put her on a spot to where she felt like she had to say yes, which is why.
And this is why reality stuff is really hard for me to get into, because I do factor in that there is a lot of editing that goes into it. So like, even in the shots where they're showing her face is not smiling.
It's not.
She's not. She's looking like, oh,
she looked terrified.
Right, and then when they show when she got on the spot, it didn't show her smiling or any of that, and it was just kind of like,
it just felt very forced.
Is this editing, or is, because then they had the shots where you just saw her back, and I was like, is she smiling at him at this point? Like, I have yet to see a smile, and it kind of made you feel like, oh, she's gonna say no.
Yeah, it was definitely the way that they edited it, but the way that they edited their entire relationship even is just like, we don't really know what the hell happened. I know that they're probably not together now. I knew, and I called it. I said they're probably going to say yes on decision day, but once the update comes, they're not going to be together.
And so you think they're not together?
No, I don't think they're together. I don't.
Well, I knew that. I figured that they were going to say yes to each other because, I mean, yeah, that's a lot of pressure to be on the spot like that. And then if he gets down on his knees,
like, what?
Will you stay married to me? And
like, who's gonna say no in that moment? You don't want to embarrass him, because I'm sure she cares about him. You know what I'm saying? And it's just, it was an awkward. I didn't like theirs. I didn't like how the experts overall kept allowing a person like our next couple. Let's segue into Jacob and Haley. I don't like how, I told you, I don't like how they asked that question before it was time to give the decision.
Oh, I know. Like,
it bothered me.
And because then they put him on the spot.
Right.
And his response, what it said to me is, he didn't want to embarrass himself or put himself out there like that. So it was kind of like, well, obviously she doesn't want to, be with me, so.
See, I didn't get that. I got Jacob, who Jacob has been. I know that he wanted it to work, but I towards the end saw him kind of giving up, and him saying, you had 8 weeks to make it work. Like, you had all this time. She hated him. You could see it, and he could see it. He lived with it.
And when she came in and she was so chipper, I was like, oh yeah, she's saying no.
Yeah, she was happy and relieved that she was about to be.
She probably didn't talk to all her friends and her mom and all of them. Like,
exactly.
Yeah, this is the day.
So I knew that they were gonna say no. I knew it for a while, but last week they did have me because they were all. I think they had sex and. But it was weird because in the previews before the show started, they did say, they were like, oh yeah, we had a good night, but they didn't show that last night. They only showed it in the scenes when it was first coming on, so I was looking for that, thinking that, oh, maybe they...
And that's where the editing, you really don't know what really be what, and so that's what I'm saying, like, because to me, how do you, I just feel like they look like they were in such a good mood departing each other. Like, everything was all good. And then when you shoot to decision day, he didn't look happy at all. He did not look happy at all. That did not look like the last time he saw her, because how do you leave a situation seeming like everything is, I mean, not great, but it just was good. Right. And then you come back and he looked unhappy, like, I'm just ready to get this.
I think something happened.
Yeah, something must have happened. And we didn't get it on camera, and he knew what she was gonna say, and that's how he looked on that couch, was like,
he's over it.
Yeah.
He was tired of being emotionally abused, because that's what she was doing to him. I can't stand Haley.
I'm just gonna say, on the previews, he looked good. He looked good.
Jacob is gonna be alright.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was like,
he is going to be okay. Haley lost a catch. Yes, he's weird with his 80s, but he was willing to change. And the fact that you couldn't work with that says that you are the problem. Why you were single for 7 years. I was happy about that. That needed to end. That was a mess.
I was sad only because I just wish that Haley would have allowed herself the opportunity to really kind of grow out of who she's been, and she just did not. And unfortunately, Jacob, he himself reverted back to, I think, how he is, where, you know, those people are just like, fuck it, it's just not going right. And it's kind of like, relax, bruh. And I just feel like they both kind of just reverted back to who they were prior to this experience. And that's where I was just kind of like, oh, dang, it's just, it is what it is.
I know how badly you wanted them to work. I know how bad. She really wanted. She was pulling for Jacob and Haley. Were her favorite couple.
They weren't my favorite.
You said they were your favorite a couple times. Run a tape.
Okay, I don't know if I said they were my favorite, but I was rooting for them more than anybody else because I felt like they had a chance given the fact that they were going through some of the stuff early on, as opposed to the ones that started off really great and whatever. Can we just
she is upset.
Can we just move past them to
Alright, let's go to Vincent and Brianna. I'm happy with the outcome. I love that they both recognize that they have things they need to work on and they're willing to work on it. And that's really all a marriage is. Like, you're compromising constantly and working on yourself to be a better person for your partner.
Right.
I think they're going to be fine. I love them. I think they're adorable. Vincent is a crybaby as well, but
in a worse way too.
It's not attractive.
To me, it's up there with Chris. I'm sorry, I can't have somebody like you be like, yo, what even happened? You don't even, before you could even realize what happened, you just know something happened, not because it was, you know, clear as day, but because you'll look over and Vince will be sitting there, face looking like he want to scream.
I personally couldn't deal with that.
I can't deal with
like,
that.
That's not my cup of tea, but apparently it's Brianna's cup of tea because
it's not her cup of tea either.
Well, she said she finds herself needing him. She said those words. He's obviously her cup of tea. She loves him. So she obviously can put up with his tantrums, is basically what she said.
But then that then also goes back to editing, because while we, you know, that those tantrums made episodes, so that's why it's like, oh no.
Right.
But in the grand scheme of things, that probably was the short or few times compared to the overall experience.
It very well could not have been that many. It was probably just all of those instances compiled into episodes to make it look worse than what it actually is, because they need views. They need, they need ratings. And we really don't know what goes on, but apparently it wasn't that bad because they both chose to stay. Even with the editing of them trying to make Vince look like he was going to say something else.
I was over all this editing.
It was too much editing. They did the most with this week.
He's like, wow, but I got something.
Yeah, something to tell you. Or something like, it was weird. They don't normally do it like that. Like, Decision Day is not, this whole season was trash.
It's not normally like that?
No, it is, but the way the editing and the over dramatized emotion, it's not normally like that.
Oh, okay, because I was like, that's why my mom was like, I don't want to watch this anymore.
I don't blame her. I was definitely over this season. This was not a good first season for y'all to watch. I feel responsible. But yeah, I'm happy for them. I think that, super cute. And that's all the reunion. He had hair.
Oh, he had hair?
Yeah.
I didn't get that.
He did. I was like, okay. I like him bald. My husband's bald, so.
And they were sitting all up on each other. I did notice that. I was like, oh,
they're not going nowhere.
Body language is giving, it's going great.
They're going to be okay. That's the one couple that I was hoping that would be okay, and they are. I loved it. So let's move on to our final couple.
Yay.
Clara and Ryan. I knew it. I knew they were going to, sure, themselves into staying together. And then whenever the reunion comes, they're not going to be together. I already know. That's how that's going to happen.
She's making bold predictions. I knew that they were going to stay together because, they just could never be real with themselves.
They're not honest with themselves.
Like,
they don't even know each other.
He is not a 10. But then again, it goes back to maybe it's editing. Maybe she's not really all pressed out about this whole sex thing.
I don't know.
But I feel like we've been hearing about this lack of sex
since day one.
Day
two, the honeymoon and on.
We
Did you hear Pastor Cal call him alpha male? I was like, where?
But see, that's what I'm saying. I think that's the editing, because when she said something about how he reacted, how he didn't like something at some party.
Yeah.
I was like, who's this Ryan?
Right.
So maybe
he didn't show his true self on
the show. He was very reserved, and I feel like she may have got more of who he actually is, whatever. And when Pastor Cal said alpha male, I was a little like, yeah, sure. But I think that's editing. I think also he probably didn't show his true self to the camera like that. But clearly he must be like, Claire, shut up.
Right.
This is what it is. Because when she said he didn't like something that happened to a friend, I was like, who? No, sure. Yeah, sure would have never had.
He needs a shirt. Ryan, you need to trademark sure. Sure.
Yeah, sure.
And then it needs to say, sure. And then, sure. Going down, like getting smaller and smaller. Bang. But I just really think.
Sure. I'm with the shirt now.
Sure. That's our shirt, y'all. Don't try and make it. No, Ryan seriously needs to do something with that, because he just said it all fucking season long.
Because that's how I be. Sure.
Sure. Do that, and that was just so lackluster. Like, I was like, oh man, like they can't even be honest on decision day. Like, this is just too much. But looking at the scenes for the reunion, Crybaby Chris is storming out again. I just feel like, why do they keep giving them airtime? Like, why are we still talking to them?
If you put him on a camera, that boy's gonna storm.
It's his thing. He's like a actor. Like,
he's a runner. He's a
that's his theme song. Anytime he appears, that needs to come on. It's too much. It's like, how are you attracted to that, Paige? It's not even sexy. It's gross. Actually,
I feel like God.
Oh my goodness, I can't stand it. I can't stand the monotone voice. I don't know.
Relationship.
He said they went to counseling to make it work.
He said that?
Well, the scenes for the reunion, yes. And I guess the host said something upset him, which is why he stormed off. Like, it's like, I already knew that they were going to do that after they left when they were all together. Yeah. I knew they probably went home and smashed, like, because she's weak like that. He showed up for me. Like, no, bitch, he showed up for the cameras, more airtime because he wants to be on TV. He don't care about you. You just got good, you know what.
Well, I guess we'll have to see, because he had posted a Chanel bag, like, Chanel for her or something like that.
Probably for Mercedes.
I was just like,
not for Paige.
I was like,
Paige, like, did you peep when he was like, are you cold? And she's like, yeah, and he waited till they got inside to give her what was that? Why you wait till y'all got inside to give her your jacket?
And then we get inside.
He's like, well, bitch, I'm cold too.
No, because he wanted them experts to see, this my bitch.
Yeah, and then he was like, speaking for her, like, we are undecided. Like, and you allowing this? It's weird.
That's why I feel like he said to her, go ahead and say that. Because that's what they want you to say, whatever. But
it was definitely,
we're going to go home together.
It was definitely discussed.
We going over your house? Or?
Yes, they left together. It was a joint decision. It was a discussion. It was a conversation. These scenes, Jacob was laying it all out there. He said Haley hated him. I agree. I just, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's like, she hates me. She hated me. And it's obvious. Everybody saw it. She couldn't hide her hate.
Hide it.
She couldn't even disguise it. It was so blatant. But Claire and Ryan, I don't see it. I don't see them making it. Erica Virginia. I don't see them making it either. Like, I think
Because he's going to give her an ultimatum.
he's going to give her,
like,
she's going to be like,
the
bye.
camera's not here, the producers are not here to stop me. So
exactly.
My mans and them are going to be here.
Yeah, like all my homeboys.
My friends.
All of my friends.
My guy friends are going to come and help me move my stuff. I mean, I really didn't even bring anything over here because like, I needed my own space anyway. So
it was definitely giving, it was a lot of theatrics last night. But yeah, it was what I thought it was going to be. And, you know, I'm looking forward to the reunion more than this. Because this was a kind of a boring decision day. It wasn't.
I want the reunion. I want
Yeah.
the juicy.
Yeah, the tea.
Now.
And that host be getting in. He be digging in people's.
Oh, he really?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm looking forward to that.
He's a
Because the
good
decision
host.
day, I was like,
I was expecting so much more, and it just wasn't giving what I was hoping for.
it was too dramatic for me.
Yeah.
For no reason. Like,
None.
it was a yes, okay, good. It was a no,
Yeah.
okay, good.
Yeah, previous seasons just weren't like this. So we'll see. I mean, we have that one last episode, and then we're gonna wrap it up because what are we gonna do? We said games. I know that we talked about this before, but in its place of Married at First Sight, we're going to be playing some games,
Eating some food.
eating some food. Well, if April Love shows up early enough, because I intermittent fast and I have to be done eating by 8 p.m. So if she gets here before 8, then we'll be eating some food.
I've usually been getting here.
You
before-
have.
for 8, and I've switched it up.
You
Please,
did.
please.
But we really hope that you guys enjoy the show. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we will see you next week. Hey y'all, it's your girl V,
And your girl April Love.
and we are your hosts of Love Unlocked Talk.
If you like what you saw, please subscribe, like, and comment below. And let us know what you want us to discuss for future episodes.
Also, please follow us on Instagram at Love Unlocked LLC for updates.